Welcome to Full Point, the Cebu Sports Show. I'm back with a vengeance, but then I will be back with something closer to my heart. Today we talk about sports for those in the middle age, like me. Well, probably my guest if he admits it. We have with us no other than Cebu's premier sports medicine doctor. And he's not just a sports medicine doctor because he was part of the medical team in already a few Olympics. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Full Point, Dr. Rhoel Dejaño. Doc, good afternoon, good day.
Good afternoon, Nim, and good afternoon also to your viewers right now.
Yeah. You know, Doc Dejaño and I started our friendship by me being his patient. Actually, I went to the rehab center of Perpetual Hospital. I was supposed to see another doctor who was not there. So Doc Dejaño was there, and then it was like something clicked right away. I think it's because of our love for sports.
Yes, yes.
So, Doc, you know, a lot of people who are in their 40s and above, like us,
us.
want to get into sports. So I think the biggest question is it safe? Like, there are people who were athletes in the past, and then they stagnated, they stopped because they had to work. Now they become parents, and then they want to get back into sport.
Okay, so actually, Nim, no, that's a very good question. No, sports is actually for everybody, whether you're a young kid or you're in your middle ages, like as you said, like us, and even those in the older population. So if you look at YouTube, no, there are actually sporting competitions where a lot of the participants are in their 80s or 90s. And even one time when I was in Hawaii, that time for the World Triathlon Championships, there were a lot of participants that were already in their, even in their 86, 80s. No, I think the oldest at that time was 86. So, with your question with regards to if is it safe?
Yeah.
No? Actually, just like any sporting activity, there are actually risks. No? But if you do it properly, if you do it with the right preparation, then it's actually safe. No? So, you cannot actually do away with when you talk about sports and actually exercise. That means when you play sports, actually the main goal, especially for us in the older age group, is probably not to compete, no, but actually to keep us fit.
Yes, no more Olympic dreams.
Of course, no. But who knows?
Yes,
Who knows?
right,
No?
right.
But then it's more of keeping ourselves fit.
Yeah.
No. Just like you, I know you play soccer or football.
Yeah.
I too, I play lawn tennis, and I'm almost a senior. I must admit, I'm almost a senior, but I can still give the younger tennis players a run for their money. No, I can still play singles with them, no, or doubles.
Yeah.
But of course, in our when we are in the older population, injuries are actually will happen just like any person. No?
Yeah. Okay, one of the things that people always say is that, uy, tiguang na ka. Ayaw na ana. Switch to something else. But then, I see all over me, like when I go to football festivals and tournaments, I see guys who I played with during my younger years, and I see guys who we were looking up to when we were young. Karon, we're still looking up to them kay nana sa ilang almost 60s, but still playing and still very fit.
Yeah, yeah.
Diba?
I still get a lot of patients, no, 50s, 60s, still playing basketball, or playing badminton, or even into triathlon and running, no, and the injuries that happens in the older population is more or less similar to the younger ones, no? And this will usually involve the knees, the lower back, the joints, more or less, more of a joint problems.
And also, I think ang pinakadako nga injury will be the ego. Nga, usahay, masakitan, labi na tawgon og noy sa iyang kontra.
Labi nagtiguang, no? But you have to remember
Yeah.
that as we age, no, there is what we call an age-related changes in the body,
Yeah.
which makes the older population more prone to injuries per se.
Okay.
No? So I can just enumerate some. No, of course, when we age, there's an decrease in the muscle bulk.
Yes,
No?
yes.
We have, of course, some changes in the cartilage, in the lubrication of the joints, especially the knees. No, we have an age-related deterioration in what we call proprioception, in balance. No, and even strength. There's actually a decrease in strength. Now, you probably have noticed it, and have noticed it. No, in my younger age, kumbaga, no, about 10, 15 years ago, I can still play like one singles and two doubles in lawn tennis, or let's say two singles and one doubles. But now, I'm happy if I can play one doubles game. That's a quality game, no? Because murag kapoy na, no?
Yeah.
And then after you play, you start having pains in the
Uh-huh.
knees, no? You start having pains in the joints,
Yes.
no?
So-
So it's natural. It's what we call the inevitable.
So most probably, Doc, the best thing to tell those who are in their middle age who'd like to get into sports is to manage their expectations.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Kumbaga, that's what I tell my patients, no. If you used to play maybe 5 or 6 games of basketball in a day, then maybe you can limit to 1 or 2, because you have to look at it moving forward, no? If you want to keep on doing what you want, what you
Yeah.
like now, and you want to have longevity,
Yeah.
no, so maybe try to tone down the intensity of your exercise, no, the duration of the exercise. So these are the things that you can adjust, no. You can adjust duration, you can adjust intensity, you know. If you used to play every day, then you might just play like every other day.
Yeah.
No, to give time for the muscles, for the joints, and the rest of the parts of the body to rest. No, because recovery time
Yeah.
in the older age group, in the older population, is longer compared to the younger age
ones.
groups.
So that's why in my team, no, sa Queen City Football Club, I play in the 45, 48 above division. So di lang ta mangutan na pila above. Anyway, one thing that we always tell our teammates is that let's play to enjoy. Let's play as long as we can. Kay mo man ni atong purpose nga this is a sport that we love and we'd like to do it as long as we can. Wala naman tayo ambisyon nga mag-Philippine team, mahimong member sa ASCALs. Ang ato lang is that we can continue to kick the ball. Bahalag hinay na lang, basta malingaw ta. And we are among friends. Di ba, Doc? I think that's one thing also that encourages us to enter sports is that the bonds that we develop
Yes.
with other athletes and people in the community.
Yes, that's very true, no. For me personally, if I can play one quality game, no, and grabe ang singot, no, and you enjoyed it, dili ka bayaran,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no matter
that's
how
right.
much is the cost, no, and it gives you a sense of euphoria, a sense of relief, no, and of course, as you said, no, that's when you play sports, it's a very good bonding time, no, and chika, chismis at the same time. Wanang do not be absent in the court, or kay ikaw mo'y libako, no, you'll be the talk of
Yeah.
the group.
Pero, well, I think you have also noticed it, Doc, that in the different sporting communities, we have a lot of people who are in their medyo senior na nga age who are now getting into sports. And that is because probably now we have more access to equipment. Unlike during our younger days, we have more access to facilities. Also, nga wala sa una pagkabata nato, di ba, Doc?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true.
So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more of Full Point, the Cebu Sports Show, with no less than Cebu's sports medicine doctor, Dr. Rhoel Dejaño. Welcome back to Full Point, the Cebu Sports Show here on MyTV Cebu. And I'm your host, Nimrod Quiñones, and I am with Dr. Rhoel Dejaño, the foremost sports medicine doctor of Cebu. He's been to the Olympics, and we've seen all of his pictures doing planking in different parts of the world and in big sporting arenas. So, Doc, we had a very interesting first segment regarding people in the middle age getting into sports. So now let's proceed to something a bit more technical. This time is, what do you do? Like for example, kanahan ko buduwa, pero inig training, musa man akong buhaton, magbarog-barog lang ko dito. Narabay uban na when they come to the venue, nagdalagi og pagkaon, nagsigi kaon, ya, diretso duwa na ta. Diretso duwa. So, what are the proper things that you ought to do if you'd really like to do it right?
Okay. So every time I'm asked about these questions, no, I always quote this, no. You don't only play a sport to get fit, but you have to be fit to play a sport. Okay.
Very correct.
So that's why preparation is very important, no. So just like again any age group who wants to play a sport, especially kumbaga competitive sports, no, team sports or individual, you have to be well conditioned to start with. So that's why nowadays it's already an established norm that teams has to prepare by doing strength and conditioning training. No? Now, of course, in the older age groups, I'm not saying that you really have to go to the gym, you have to hire a personal trainer in order for you to prepare, no? But at least you should know the basics, no? Very important that, of course, you have good strength. Second is you have to have a full range of motion of your extremities, no? Like how can you, let's say, hit a ball when you have limited shoulder range, no? How can you run properly when your knees are bent, no? So that's why you need to have a full range of motion, which brings us to stretching. So one of the preparations that you have to do is a good stretching exercise, no? And when I say stretching, it's either passive or active stretching or dynamic stretching.
Okay. So unsa man ni siya difference aning tulo,
Yeah,
kay
when you say static stretching, no, or passive stretching, that means you stretch without moving a certain part of the body. No? When you say active or dynamic stretch, that means you do stretching and movement at the same time, which is actually the more appropriate stretches or stretching exercise that you do prior to competition. No? Then you need to have good balance, no? Because in sports, I think and we think, experts would say that the foundation of all sporting activities is to have a good balance. And that means you need to know how to do a good squat, how to do a proper squat. Because everything in sports, if you notice, starts with a squat.
Yes.
No? So
Dili sumo wrestling.
yeah, because when you let's say when you hit a ball like in lawn tennis,
Yes.
you have to do this.
Yeah.
When you have to shoot a ball, you have to do this, no?
Yes.
So everything starts with a squat.
Yeah.
And even normal activities of daily living with us sitting and then standing up and from a standing position to sitting down, that actually requires a squat.
Yeah.
No? So that is one thing that I would like to emphasize. So you need to have good balance, and it starts with a squat.
Yeah, I do remember reading an article a long time ago. This was long before they had scientists on Facebook and on social media ba. Nga the older population who do Tai Chi, they are less likely to undergo hip replacement because these are the people who have very good balance.
Yeah.
Dili madagma. So, I think in relation to what you just mentioned, it's really important to have good balance.
Yes, in Tai Chi or Qigong or Qigong, no, these are Chinese form of exercise na murag from martial arts,
Yes,
no.
oo.
They emphasize there a lot of balance training, and so it also goes that in training athletes, balance is also a very important component of the training program, no. So these are the more or less the physical things that you have to do, but one very important component of preparation, as you were asking, no, is to have a good hydration and nutrition. No? You need to be EU hydrated before you start an activity.
Okay.
Or when you start an exercise, or before you run, or before you play soccer. When we say EU hydrated, that means the hydration status of your body is normal. Because, like for example, no, let's say somebody who wants to join, who is joining a triathlon competition the next day. You have to think that before the competition, no, excited kayo, wala matulog, wala kayo makatulog,
Yeah.
nagsige ihi-ihi, no? And then pag adto dito sa competition, wala siya nag-hydrate daan, no? So that means to start with, he's already in some form of a negative or dehydrated
Kung sa
status.
sakyanan pa, gubaon imong radiator.
Oh, kay kulang na ang gasolina ni mo nga gibutang,
kulang.
wala na wa ka ma-full tank daan, no?
Yeah.
So kinahanglan full tank ka to start,
okay,
no?
yeah.
That's why it's very important that you hydrate well.
Yeah, especially sa older population. Usually, we don't like to drink too much because we don't like to go to the restroom very often.
Because
di ba?
of incontinence, no? As you grow older, nanay mga prostatic problems,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Nanay incontinence, mag-ihi na.
So, but if you want to play, you have to hydrate.
Yes, yes, that's very important. No? So and aside from hydration, of course, nutrition. No? So you need to have a good nutritional status, maybe a high protein diet
Okay.
or a high carbohydrate diet. Depends on what you believe in. Because I'm not somebody who will tell you that this is what you do in
Yeah.
terms of nutrition. It probably would depend on what you believe in. No, I don't want to impose on what I believe in because some diets, some nutritional things that you do might not be good for you. So it's very important that if you really want to be scientific about it, no, nowadays there are already what we call sports nutritionists, sports
yes,
dietitians, no,
yeah.
that specializes in this area.
Yeah, of course, I won't advise you to do what I told my teammates in UP Sportivo. Sila Dr. 𝗙𝗵𝗷𝗍, sila Berto, kana sila. Kung ginan, nganong maim kag duwa atong last na mo tournament sa UP ko? Because I ate kinupusan before the game. Ayaw na. It's not advisable.
Nice. Kinupusan, yung giparisan pag mo og chicharong bulaklak. No? Well, protein in a way.
That's true. I ate it before our game because I love to eat it. But in moderation, of course.
Okay.
Diba? Mamasan na. I always see you also cooking. That's one of the things you do. You like to cook. You like to cook for friends and your family.
Yeah.
So, usahay, lami kay tanawon dahil mo mga tinola, mga linarang. But there are times also nga medyo tambok-tambok. But then, mo na siya. As Dr. Dejaño said, it's important that you eat right, eat in moderation, and eat what is needed for your particular sport. Mo na, like, we mentioned carbo loading for runners, mga nana. Pero, dili sana siya ingon nga when you go to a sport, you go there just to eat. Na may uban gud nga eatlet, not athlete.
Ipusta man. No, ang kisay mapili mo mubang ka no sa inom o sa kaon. No, mo nang sometimes sa older population mahibong nag-exercise man unta ko, ni duha man dako, amo ko ni gamay.
Ko gamay,
no? Because after the game, no, inom, gipusta one case of beer.
It's called the recovery shot.
Recovery.
The wrong recovery shot.
Recovery meal. No?
Anyway, Doc, we mentioned about stretching, we mentioned about diet. of course, it is important to be consistent sa
Yeah.
imuhang mga gipangbuhat, no?
Yes.
Dili lang ka nga mo stretch lang ka ganahan, mo stretch lang ka kung gipamaulan, which I sometimes do.
Yes, that's true, no. These things are better said than done, no. Uh, Sometimes, for myself, I give the instructions to the patients that these are the things that you have to do, and for a while, okay, no. And then after mga 2-3 months, back again. Oh, nabalik lagi ka, sir. For sure, wala ni mo gibuhat tong
Yeah.
gihatag na mo nga home instructions,
Yeah.
home exercise program, know what you need to do, what you have to prepare. No, so mobalik gyapon. So as you said, you have to be consistent.
Yes,
No.
that's right. And, talking with Doc Dejaño is always interesting. Magkita miyane bisag asa. We talk about several topics. And today, well, it's very close to our hearts. So we will have more of Dr. Rhoel Dejaño as we go to the final segment of this episode of Fullpoint, the Cebu Sports Show in a while. Welcome back to Fullpoint, the Cebu Sports Show, and we're talking about getting into sports in your 40s and above, or maybe even before your 40s, if you think that's already middle age. And we are with Dr. Rhoel Dejaño, Cebu's foremost sports medicine doctor. So, Doc, we mentioned about preparation, but then what always happens during games is that you could also get injured.
Yes.
Personally, I am now hurting. Di lang maklaro sa kong naong, no? Medyo smiling pa ko. But last Saturday, I think I tore my adductor muscles. So, kay ni Bruce man yun. So, what do you do first, no? Like, during the game, di man yun na tumalikayan nga na matakil po. Usahay gani, I mean, without really intention of getting into the heat of things pa lang, napalang skilled, daghan na kayo nang na-injure na. I'm sure you have seen those things happen.
Yes.
So, unsa may atong una nga buhaton kung like for example, natakil po, common nga injury.
Okay. So again, no, when we talk about sports injuries, we have to go back to the basics, no. And the basics of sports injuries, which everybody probably knows, is what we call RICE or PRICE. No,
Yes.
so apply pressure, no, apply rest. No, you have to rest the injured part, and then you can put ice and then compression. That means bandaging and elevation. No?
Okay.
So these are things that are very basic. Now, of course, when I first came into practice, no, way back, maybe how many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, no, I can still see people when they get an ankle sprain, no, ipabunal ang tiil or iparol sa
botilya.
botilya, no, or
Yeah.
or kanigyod, no, why kaso iduwa na kay kung iduwa na nimo mawala na. No, di ba? Nihubag na ang tuhod, nagkiang-kiang na, okay na. No, but then no, we try to educate people, no, and now people are getting to know that rest is very important, no. So when you injure an extremity, when you injure a part of the body, you should rest it, no. Just like probably what Nico, your son PT, has told you, that you have to
Yes.
rest the injured part, no, because you might have a tear there.
Yeah.
No, and then ice is our best friend, no. In sports injuries, I should say you can never go wrong with ice. Now, don't misinterpret it, no, because sometimes if you put ice and then it stays very long in the part of the body, you might get ice burns, no. So I have people doing cryotherapy nga nasunog sa ang ilang extremities, no. But then if you don't have anything else to put or to place, just put ice, you're good to go.
Well, every time I go to a game, I always have an ice bag with ice with
okay.
me. Murag kuha na nako, it's standard na nako nga equipment together with all other stuff that I need nga naagi ice, because I believe in ice.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I
Then-
sustained an injury last weekend, the first thing I did was put ice on it.
Yeah. Can you imagine during the last palaro, no, where there were 12,000 athletes, no, we were able to consume around almost 100 kilos of ice every single day.
Okay.
No, every single day. No, so shout out to Mr. 𝗙𝗵𝗫𝗽, my chairman sa Sports Commission. No,
He's not just my friend. He's also actually my distant cousin and
yeah, and
kumpare.
also a sportsman. No,
Sportsman,
so
like that,
he was like, huh? We consume this much of ice. I said yes. No, because imagine we have to distribute ice to all the
Playing
venues. No,
venues, yeah.
and then compression. That means bandaging.
Yeah.
No, so it's very important that you have to do proper bandaging. No, and then elevate the extremity. No, to more or less, kumbaga kuno, let the swelling go down.
Okay.
No, and of course, if symptoms persist,
See your doctor.
see the doctor, no?
Muna
But,
gingon sa ko anak, magkita man mong Dr. Dejaño.
but you know, I said this is a joke that I tell my patients. No, I'm not gonna tell you that you cannot go back playing.
Yeah.
That you cannot play a sport because some will say, Dok, di na lang kuno ko pwede mo duwa, Dok. Kay mo naman ko, no. Pwede paghihapon ka with some modifications. No?
Yeah.
Because if I tell you that you cannot play anymore,
Yeah.
mangita kag lain doktor.
That's right.
At bisa pag ingnon ta ka nga dili ka pwede mo duwa,
Yeah.
mo duwa ra gihapon ka kay di man ko magsunod-sunod nimo.
Yeah. You mentioned modifications. I had this injury on Saturday. So it was a bit painful on Sunday, but on Monday I had to play golf.
Okay.
So I even had to modify my stance
Yes.
to adjust to the pain. So sakto gid ito kung gibuhat.
Yes, so some modifications, no, and then there's what we call as cross training. No, so if you cannot, let's say you're doing training on land, no, so the impact is high, and then there's more friction, there's more pressure, no, then you can shift to training in water.
Okay.
No, so there's lesser stress, no, there's lesser impact, no, so mo na yung mga modifications that you can do. And even in the clinic name, no, which we have now, no, nanghambog ko, no, which we have, the first one in the Philippines, we have what we call the zero gravity treadmill.
Sa man ni?
Sa perpetual.
Perpetual.
No?
Okay.
Zero gravity treadmill, which is used for training for injured extremities. So
Okay.
that means you can still run on the treadmill and without pressure because you are being floated, just like in
Murag nasa
outer
space.
space.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So mana zero gravity ka. So you
Oh.
can actually run, you can continue training
okay.
even, and we're using that for a lot of our older patients, no? Labi na katong nanay mga joint pains,
Okay.
arthritis.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing to know, no? Nana day na siya.
Na,
Zero gravity treadmill.
Yeah. It's been available quite some time in the market, no? Even when I started training sports conditioning early 2000s sa IMG academies, no? IMG say 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗽𝗍, no? They already have that there, which was about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Karon
Karon pa
pa
naabot
sa
sa
Pilipinas. No, because medyo
Pricey.
expensive.
Yeah.
Pricey, no?
Well, mo na, technology comes with a price.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Same with going into sports. It comes with a price. And then, of course, if you want to dedicate time to become an athlete, whatever age you are, you have to train, you have to prepare, you have to eat right, you have to sleep right.
Yeah. Sleep is very important. Sleep is very important. That's why among athletes, no, studies already have shown, no,
Yeah.
that sports performance is better in those that have enough sleep. Maybe
Yeah.
8 hours a day.
So, sleep is part of recovery.
Yes,
Diba?
yes,
Part is
yes.
siya sa recovery na to. So, once you go older, your recovery time, as mentioned by Doc Dejaño earlier, is also a bit longer.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
kung sa may maayong buhato, Doc, like for example, after a very intense game, how long does it take for you to, play again? You sometimes good, magunahon na ka nga, sa bata pa ko, I can play so many games in a few number of days. Like, that's how we thought as kids because that was how our intramurals were done. Di ba?
Actually, no, may kay pagkahimo nga tong lawas sa Ginoo, no? If that's what we believe in, no?
Yeah.
There are what we call recovery systems in the body,
Okay.
no? That makes us recover, no? So na very short recovery time, na medyo intermediate, na long recovery time, no? That this has something to do with these are very scientific things, no? But repair. Repair of injured muscles, repair, usually happens during rest. And this happens during sleep. And even growth, no? That's why importante kayo, just to sing it, no? Nga, we only grow when we are sleeping.
Sa ato pa
because-
dili kay kuhingatog.
Probably, no? Because growth hormone acts only
Yeah.
during sleep. No? So when we talk of recovery, the recovery actually starts once you finish your game. No? So that's why icing, rest, no? You elevate the extremities, and it's very important also to get a good cold shower. No? Kay
Yeah.
namatay kinaraan nga tinuan
Yeah.
nga di ta kay mapas mo taon.
That's right, Doc. So my question is it ice or Haplas?
Okay. Ice or Haplas? Okay. Haplas is superficial, no? It
Okay.
helps alleviate pain.
Okay.
No? But it does not penetrate into the deeper structures of the body. So, symptom relief, Haplas. But if you want to be have a little therapeutic effect, kumbaga, then ice would be good. But if you can combine Haplas and ice together, why not?
Mas bugnaw.
Mas bugnaw. If we can afford it, then why not? So, muna, recovery, muna kaning mga elite athletes like LeBron James,
Yeah.
no? If you read the story on how he does recovery, no? Even at the pag gawas pa lang niya sa shower, at imano na siya, even in the plane, going back to his house, no? Naanay mga buhaton ng iyang mga trainers, no? And even pag-abot sa balay, until sa next game, no? Daghan na sila buhaton. That's why pila na edad nila.
Yeah.
No? And even Roger Federer,
Yeah.
late into the early 40s, no? Recovery is very, very important.
Doc, daghan jud kayong salamat, Doc. We learned a lot with you here on my show. And I hope that also our athletes nga who want to go back into sports, because a lot of people stop after a while, then they come back, they try again. Some stop right away because they are not doing it right. So, well, Doc Dejaño, I think, is in all hospitals of Cebu. You can see him in any of his clinics, and he is always somebody who we can turn to in terms of sports. Unya, may pagod kayo ning tao. I mean, he's giving his free services to the CESAFI athletes, to our Palaro athletes, and to many other athletes, including old athletes like me. So, ina si Doc Dejaño because it's the passion.
Yes,
It's
yes,
the passion
no?
for sports.
So, wala rin na yung problema nito. So, most of the athletes in Cebu knows that no, I give them free consultation, free advice, whatever, no? Because that's the only way to really, really elevate the status of our athletes, kumbaga, no? Across all populations, no? I want people to enjoy sports, enjoy exercise, even into the dawn or the twilight of their lives, no? And I'm very proud to say that my mother herself, no, she's already 84, no? But she and her friends do a lot of exercise every single day, no? So they go, because she lives in the States, no? She goes to the senior center, they have Zumba, they have dance, they have yoga, no? They walk, no? And kaluoy sa Diyos, at that age, she doesn't have any joint pains, no back pains, and very active. And sometimes, sobrahan sad sa ka-active, no? So, mona, do not overdo things, ha? Do not overdo things. And usahay, labi na og gikan maayo from an injury, unya nibalik dayon, no? Nabalik na sad kay na injured because murag lami man gid kaayo nga moduwa og balik.
Murag igo kay ko ana.
So do not overdo things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Doc, really, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you here on my show. This is like my revival of Full Point, the Cebu Sports Show, and I'm very happy to have a good friend as my guest, and at the same time, to have shared a lot of things we're passionate about. And I'm sure that those of you who'd like to get into sports can learn a lot also from this. And we will have more episodes like this of Full Point, the Cebu Sports Show in the coming days. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Nimrod Quiñones with Dr. Rhoel Dejaño. And we'll be back with Full Point, the Cebu Sports Show in our next episode.